Dun, 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 dun. It's Iron Man time again. There's been a bit of a delay because I've just been so busy and so exhausted and so everything else in between. So let's get on with it because I've got 2 months worth to catch up on. So I'm going to be doing episodes 31, 32, 33 and 34, closely followed, surprisingly, by 35, 36, 37 and 38. Now I bet you didn't see that coming. Magazine 31. We have a metal bit, a plastic bit, and a shiny plastic bit, which is obviously a cap for decorative purposes, and I suspect will fit into there. And that's it. Well, not quite, but almost. It's almost it, because all we're actually doing in this episode is placing these, little plastic, come here, damn you, come here. All we're doing is placing these little reluctant to be gripped plastic friction caps, and we are placing them over here. It shows that the little eject pin marks for, as you can see there, the eject pin marks face upwards, and there is actually a slight bevel, so I'm assuming there is a reason behind this, and that's it. That's magazine 31. Magazine 32, we have got a packet that doesn't want to open, and inside that packet we've got a metal bit, a plastic bit, a couple of metal bits with ratchety bits, which you probably can't see very easily just now, but they've got like serrations. We have got a little sticker, which, had I not just seen that, could have easily been lost. And we have got a spring. And that's that. So, what we do with this is as follows. We take a pair of tweezers and we tweeze a sticker off, and we put a bit of sticker on each side of this plastic ring. I'm going to zoom in. These little stickers, as I've mentioned before in one of the episodes, are essentially dial dots. So if for any reason you misplace your little stickers, or you run out of them, or the dog eats them, or something along those lines, don't panic. Just order yourself up a bunch of dial dots. They're dirt cheap. You can see double-sided stickiness, and this just fits into here, and the double-sided stickies enable it to stay put and not wander away and get lost, which is always useful if that's what you want it to do. So we now need the other part of the knee joint that we did in the last 4 episodes. So by the magic of video, I will be back in a second. And amazingly, just like that, here I am, and here it is. So we'll take that little bit off, and you can see there we've got the associated components. They will look very familiar to you because, of course, they're the same as the ones that we've just put on. And, ooh, that's interesting. This is the little plastic washer from the last series, and it's come adrift. It's actually lifted the paint away on the stickies. It's not a problem, not concerned about it, as long as we can keep it in place for the fixing, which I'm sure I can. But it's actually lifted away the paint. Strange. So first of all, this one fits onto here, and we will need some screws. The screws in question are going to be LM. M for metal, L for Limb? I don't know. L for something. L for leather. No, that's a saying, isn't it? Never mind. LM. So we have got a bag with 3 LM screws, which means that this is the correct bag because they always give you a spare one, which is very, very nice of them. Very nice, just in case you hurl one across the room in frustration or the dog eats it or something, you know. I do have a natural assumption that people have dogs that eat things. That's because, in my own personal experience, dogs are a bit thick and they tend to eat things that they're not supposed to eat. At least pretty much most of the dogs I've had anyway. So yeah, it does make me chuckle when people say something about dogs and go, oh, aren't they clever? And I think, no, they eat squeaky toys and things like that. They're a bit daft, really. But they are quite adorable and fluffy and funny. Anyway, I digress. And we're not here to discuss dogs. We are here to discuss gold titanium alloy clad superheroes. There we go. And I've just realised I've put it on the wrong way around because I'm an idiot, clearly. So I will be back in a moment with this the right way around, as if by magic. There it is, it's the right way around. You would never have known, would you? No, you wouldn't. Absolutely not, I can tell. And on that note, we then take this bit, which goes like so. This bit, which goes like, like so. Oh, that's interesting. There's a big chunk. You see that there? A big chunk of material. Now it should be quite thin and should just, yeah, it's basically part of the little, it's like a thin casting metal material. Just peeled away quite easily, but very interesting. And yeah, there you go. And that goes on there, like so. And then the springs for each clearly sit onto them like so. And then this bit sits down onto here. And this bit, sits down onto here. And the little tabs that you saw clearly engage with the little tabs on the ratchety metal bits. And this becomes the knee joint. Sandwich them together. This could be interesting. So we need to first of all make sure that I've got these in the right order, and I have, because you can't, looking at that, you can't actually get them in the wrong order, I don't think. He says confidently. I'm sure if I tried hard enough that I could. So put them in kind of the right orientation. Put this on top like so. Squish them together thusly. And make sure that and that, there we go. You can see the metal tabs are aligned inside the little thingamadoodahs. Fabulous. And then I need 2 IM screws. So we get the IM screws, not to be confused with the LM screws, which had I picked this up initially, I might have done. And I didn't realise until I just read these instructions that we're supplied with IM and LM. So yes, that could have been interesting, because these are clearly longer. And what we need to do is, whilst holding these together, which is a little bit tricky, I will say, apologies because I've gone off the screen there, we need to screw these together thusly. Oh, there we go. And do exactly the same with the upper joint. Fabulous, look at that. And the springs in there are very strong, so that should make the articulation of this quite nigh on impossible, apparently. Yeah, okay, I shall look into that later. And as previously, as I did with the, which bit was it? There was something that had these decorative caps. That obviously goes in there. I'm not going to put that in there just yet. I'm going to leave that to one side so that I can, should the need arise, twiddle things around. Oh, there you go. It moved. It moved in a sort of, that sounded like it was snapping kind of noise, but good heavens, that's stiff. You're probably supposed to lift it up slightly as you turn it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But we've got a knee joint. There we go. Let's zoom back up. And we have a knee joint, which goes in that orientation. So this is obviously the thigh. This is obviously the shin. And yeah, it's good. That's good. We are making progress. So that's number 32. On to 33. Magazine number 33. It's hip to be a hip joint, apparently. And we have a couple of packets of screws. We have hip joint 1, hip joint 2, front, back, whatever, not sure. And we have a plastic bit, a plastic bit, a plastic bit, and another plastic bit, which I'll just tip out. That looks like it's going to be part of a ball and socket kind of thing. And I'm just going to turn the brightness up on the camera because this looks a little bit dark on the monitor. So we've got 33A and 33B, and we need an LP screw. Two of those are supplied, so clearly we only use one, as is the norm, I am assuming. And this screws into here like so. It sits up, whoops, that way around like an L shape, which hopefully you can see. And that screws into there. We then take 33C and 33D, and this slots into here like so. I think that's the same shape both ways. It does look like it. That slots into there like so. Okay, yep. And then obviously those two halves are going to fit together. Oh, wait a minute. I tell a lie, these are not the same. One's got a larger tab, one's got a smaller tab. The larger tab clearly goes into there and it's a tighter fit. That's better. And then this one is a smaller tab and goes into there. So keep an eye out for that. One is a larger tab, one's a smaller tab, and this is clearly going to make the ball and socket joint. We then take 33E, which is this funnel shaped thing, and 33F, which seemingly drops into there like so and makes looks like a sort of more hard wearing section of the ball and socket joint. And we take an IM screw, no, an IP screw, an IP Freely screw. Good old Simpsons jokes. An IP screw, and we screw that together thusly. I suspect that that then fits into there like that. I'm guessing. I'm sort of guesstimating at the moment, but we'll probably see in episode 34. We have got some big chunky bits in this one. Always makes things a little bit more interesting. Big chunky thigh piece. Big chunky thigh piece. We've got shiny, non-shiny, so obviously one goes over the other, so it's kind of like dressing it up a little bit. We've got shiny, shiny gold piece. We've got AP screws. That flings over there and gets out of the way. What we have to do is 34A, 34B. We need to place that onto that, and we use 3 AP screws, it seems. So I'm going to throw those all out there, and we will let Mr. Magnetic Screwdriver select a screw. Ooh, there you go. And I just got to find the points where these screw into here. Oh, it actually slots into place. Got little pegs which slot into the underside of there, so there is no sort of struggle with alignment, which is handy. Always very handy, very thoughtful of them. Thank you very much, Fanhome / DeAgostini. Very, very good of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oops, come back. 1, 2, and decisions. Oh, that one. 3. So there we have shiny decorative bit sat onto there. We then take shiny gold decorative bit, and that fits onto here somehow. Do it this way, and it fits onto, where do you fit? Ah, there you go, fits like so. And we of course use 2 more AP screws, which go here and here, and here endeth magazine 34, because we have 1 screw left, and we know by the law of DeAgostini that if you have 1 screw left, you have used all the screws it intends you to use for this episode. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I forgot. We've got to do the boring bit for all the ones that are, you know, huge comic book fans that want to know the content. So we've got magazine 31, the Android Ultron Unlimited, an implacable enemy, and of course we've seen Age of Ultron as one of the MCU movies. This goes into more of the detail about Ultron, and there's a woman with what looks like flames painted on her face. I'm not sure who is. Oh, Firestar, there you go, hence the flames. Firestar. So we've got cartoony bits, builder bits. We have got Rhodes, Colonel Rhodes, and I'm assuming this is the origin story of him flying the Iron Man suit and becoming Iron Patriot and all that guff. I don't know exactly, but of course I'm a fan of the movies. I know what happened in the movies, not so much in the comic books. Seems like there were so many more suits than I ever imagined in the comic books. Iron Secretary 2, the armour is in charge. Magazine 32. The Mask of the Iron Man, and this is obviously a storyline that was part of the whole Iron Man saga thing. There's the Miami Harbinger. Tony Stark is Iron Man. So clearly this was when he was unmasked. Now, naturally, I do know that in the comic books he got away with pretending that the Iron Man was a bodyguard in a suit for some time. And in the films, of course, good old Tony Stark just kind of held a press conference and went, yeah, what the hell, I'm Iron Man. What are you going to do about it? Black Widow, from Rivals to Allies. And distinct difference here. This Black Widow from the made-for-TV version. Thank goodness they didn't go with the comic book suit and ideas. And the Ultimate Romance, who's this now? This is kind of like a black Iron Man suit with Black Widow in it. Okay, interesting. That'll be an interesting read later. There we've got Hulk with a smashed up Iron Man suit and with wires dangling out of it. Anti-radiation, 2 geniuses, 1 armor. And number 33, Bad Blood, a change of character. Okay, Spy Masters, Henchmen, Beat Up to the Sock, etc, 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 Black Widow, etc. Fantastic Four down at the bottom there. Stark Unleashed, more comic book stuff. Obviously Bad Blood was a whole kind of timeline, Iron Man-y storyline thing. And we flip past the buildy bits because we've done that. Whiplash, who of course in the movies, with a much less laughable suit, was played by Mickey Rourke, who, had he strutted out onto the racetrack wearing purple spandex, we might have all laughed at him a little bit. However, and we have a very dubious looking supervillain there with a yeah, that's, I'm assuming, oh, apparently that's Whiplash as well, but seemingly Whiplash has gone off on a completely different tangent and has different tastes. Yes, anyway. High gravity armor, very heavy metal. And then finally, magazine 34, maximum security, space prison, etc. And we have Ronan the Accuser, who looks a bit like a strange mix between Doctor Doom, Green Lantern and Thor. How strange. And we've got the buildy bits. Ultimate Universe, Marvel in the New Century. And these look X-Men-y with Spider-Man at the front there. Yep, they're definitely X-Men. Again, another timeline thing, I'm assuming. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, this looks like... okay, I think this might have been a crossover universe thing, by the look of it. And there we've got Thor and a strange-looking Iron Man and Captain America. Hypervelocity, one step further, and again, another type of armour. And there are the magazines for this month's build. We'll see you in the next one.